Helldivers 2 was a massive hit. There's no denying that. It hit the ground running upon release and did not slow down for a long time, hitting upwards of over 400,000 players across PS5 and PC at its peak. That's crazy. It garnered a devoted community that dove headfirst into all of the lore and went into even full-on roleplay, completely embracing their place in the universe as a Helldiver, a protector of freedom and democracy. Helldivers quickly became a phenomenon. No matter what social media platform I opened up, I would always see something that was Helldivers related. And yes, I know the algorithm exists, but this was before I was even playing the game. There were things like a ton of Discord servers that had heavy role-playing aspects, and there were even TikTok pages made that was just the game's in-universe news network as a TikTok page. It was great, and I used to check it every single day. Helldivers seemed like it was just too big to fail, and honestly that was and is still true in my opinion. As far as sales and player engagement go, there is no argument whatsoever for this game being a disappointment. However, there is a group of people that would tell me that I'm wrong, because not too long after that peak post-launch period that I talked about earlier, there started to be some grumbling within the community. In almost any modern day video game that features firearms, balancing is an issue. Helldivers was no different. There were weapons that were much more powerful than others, and players quickly started to form their own meta builds to take advantage of that fact. So just like any other game, there were updates that came out to balance those weapons, and people were pissed. A lot of people started whining like little babies just because their overpowered toys got taken away. I personally never understood how much backlash those nerfs got. If the devs decide they don't want something in the game that they made, then it's their decision to make, honestly. If this was like a huge PvP game like Call of Duty or Halo, and the weapons were just as overpowered, people would celebrate the nerfs. It's solely due to the fact that the players themselves aren't negatively being affected by the weapons being overpowered, and they don't give a damn about how the devs want their game to play. I think that's bullshit, and it's selfish. And I think overall, in the lore, the Helldivers are not supposed to be an unstoppable force. Very clearly not supposed to be an unstoppable force, especially when you're on the higher difficulty settings. So I was never really upset by the balancing. I was dropping in ready to die every time. I didn't care. I know my role in this. But it did cause a lot of other people to get pissy and spread a lot of negativity about the game. I was seeing that discourse spread throughout the internet, but I just honestly chalked it up to people bitching just to bitch. I was playing throughout that entire time, and it never once affected my enjoyment of the game. It also didn't help the whole situation that countless YouTubers tried to capitalize on the drama so they can make clickbaity videos so they can farm views. Since they're not good enough to rely on their own words and opinions, they had to just echo these sentiments they see online. Sorry. I'm just salty and fed up with seeing the same slop on the internet that gets all these views while I sit here and scratch and claw for anything I can get. My bad, I went full Mick Foley there for a second. Never go full Mick Foley.
Dewey Foley is a 3-year-old boy. You sick sons of bitches!
Now, there was one real controversy that actually was something to about, and that was the fact that out of nowhere, the game started to require people to sign into a PlayStation account to play. For a lot of people, it doesn't sound like a big deal, and it wasn't a big deal for a lot of people. But for a very good chunk of people, it locked them out of the game entirely. Due to certain areas not having the ability to create a PlayStation account because of region locks or their own laws or anything like that, they were no longer able to play the game that they fell in love with. And more importantly, that they paid for. Like, I have a friend online that was affected by it. Decrypto, you guys know Decrypto if you've seen any of my other videos. He was able to put a couple of hours into it, and then it was ripped away from him. Like, he was just starting to enjoy the game, and then boom, they took it away. And that sucks. Now, by the time of me recording this video, they have reversed that decision, and an account is no longer required to play, which is good, but it doesn't make up for the change being made in the first place, and people are allowed to be pissed about this one. I do think that it was a Sony call and not a call made by the developers, Arrowhead Studios. Nonetheless, though, it was a decision that pissed off a lot of people, and the game was review bombed mercilessly as people were making their displeasure known. What was once a one-of-a-kind, amazing, and supportive community had turned into a united collective of people against the wrongdoings of the gaming industry's highest powers. Throughout the life cycle of Helldivers 2 so far, we've seen many peaks and valleys because of all these things I've mentioned. And I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you're aware that as of right now, the game has started to gain popularity again due to it being released on Xbox recently. So that brings us to the video's biggest question. Really, the only question I asked in this video. Is it worth playing now in 2025 over a year after launch? I personally hopped right back in after the recent Xbox release, and I have not wanted to stop playing ever since. So if that statement doesn't already tell you my answer, let me spell it out for you. Yes, you should be playing Helldivers 2. Now, don't go click off this video because there are a lot of reasons why, and I'm gonna lay them out for you. This game is incredibly fun. It's really never not been fun. And honestly, it's so fun that even if I'm stuck in the ground because of a glitch or having to carry some bad teammates because none of my friends were online at that moment and I'm running with randoms, I'm still having fun. It starts even all the way down at the base level of the game's design. Something as small as player movement feels super fluid, and honestly, it's like nothing I've ever felt while playing a game before. There are things that are similar, have the same type of fluidity, but it's nothing that's just like Helldivers, man. You feel the feedback as you're moving. It's so hard to explain. I just love the movement in this game. And then we go to the gunplay, which is super punchy and impactful, and each weapon feels and sounds completely unique. There's a bunch of options for whatever playstyle you're going for, and you can really build whatever you want with all these different weapons. The moment-to-moment gameplay, though, is the first real star of the show. Obviously, the movement and the gunplay come into these. What are you going to be doing with all that moving and gunning? Well, you see, as a Helldiver, it's your job to defend democracy all across the galaxy. You're defending against 3 different factions that are all out to take away your freedom. You've got the Terminids, you've got the Illuminate, and you've got the Automatons. You'll do this by landing with a squad of up to 4 on planets either being invaded or making the journey straight into enemy-held territory. When you land on these planets, you'll complete one of a solid variety of missions with a sprinkling of side objectives and places of interest that hold currency and ammo to collect and things like that. That game loop right there is the core of Helldivers, and every single deployment feels a little different from the last, or even majorly different from the last, but they never feel exactly the same. And especially with 10 different difficulty levels that can range from a chill jog through an alien planet to a lightning quick pace struggle where you have to use all the firepower at your disposal just to try to get lucky enough to survive, it's pretty damn fun. Luckily, Super Earth gives you all the firepower that you would need. I already mentioned the weapons earlier, and on top of those main loadout guns that I was referring to then, you also have heavy support weapons that you can call in. They include heavy machine guns, rocket launchers, and even a Super Earth flag that doubles as a spear. You also have a wide variety of support backpacks that you can wear that offer support to others or even extra firepower to yourself. Then you have the coolest part of the arsenal, which is a collection of airstrikes, napalm drops, and even giant lasers from the sky. Calling those in leads to some of, honestly, the coolest shit I've ever seen in gaming. It's what makes these battles truly feel like a full-scale war. I'm telling you, man, you're sitting there and explosions just all around you. It's fucking crazy. Add in some full-on mechs and even a car that you can drive, and you'll see that you're fully equipped to take on these operations. You and your team are trusted with completing the given objective, taking out enemy encampments, and doing everything in your power to complete the mission, even if it means death. You can choose to drop into these operations alone, with random people through matchmaking, or get together with a group of your friends. That last one is what adds a whole new layer to things. If you saw my Battlefield 6 video, I talked a lot about how special it is to have a game that you and your friends can get lost in for hours. Helldivers is a perfect candidate for that. It can go from being an intense fight where you all lock in together to some of the funniest you've ever seen in your life. This game provides so many memories, whether serious or funny, and it just makes it so much better if you're on the mic with your friends while going through all of it. The last thing that makes this game so great is a combination of multiple factors that meld together very cohesively. It's the combination of the love and the care that's been put into building this game's universe and how much the community has embraced it. From propaganda-filled commercials that show up on your ship, to the way updates and major orders are written, all the way down to the contract that appears in the tutorial that's super easy to miss and tells you that you'll be labeled a traitor if you read it. Arrowhead has gone above and beyond in crafting the world and the lore of Helldivers, which has made it super easy to fully embrace to the point of role-playing as a Helldiver. It makes it even easier that the game world and the progress that's being made on missions is shared throughout all players. That causes players to come together in a way that's foreign to almost any other gaming community out there. Like, think about what other games you're playing, especially online games, online shooters for that matter, that you're all working together towards one goal. I'm not talking about being with a team of people, whether it be doing a co-op campaign playthrough or playing as a team in an online team deathmatch. No, I'm talking every single player that is on the online service working towards one goal together. It's awesome. And all these things, they come together to make this universe just feel real in a way that we've never seen before. I have apps on my phone where I can check the war effort and see how we're doing on planets. Like, I'm in this shit. So many people are into this shit, man. It's just great. It's great. And yeah, so honestly, yes, you should be playing Helldivers with a recent... So, to reiterate, yes, you should be playing Helldivers. With the recent resurgence and constant free updates that are always happening, you're going to get more than your money's worth. I promise that. They just dropped an update recently with new bugs that were crazy to fight, and there was even a dragon. It was nuts. I truly think that it's one of the best gaming experiences in the modern era, and you'd be a fool to miss out on it. So, what are you waiting for, Helldiver? Get out there and join the fight for managed democracy.